Welcome to Blue Baron Carpet Cleaning Systems, home of the Access Point heat exchangers and Blue Baron truck mounts. And here we have a 45 SC, and we got an Access Point heater. And this is to clarify for you, those of you that want to purchase one of our heaters, kind of a thorough understanding of how it's to be installed. And the very first thing you're going to do is establish a mounting space. And one of the things you want to do is make sure that it's minimal distance so that from the header to the heater, in this case it's an H style, and we have a small section of flex hose which is 1 7/8 to fit over a 1.5 pipe nipple. We make our heat exchangers. In this case it's a 37 horse Kohler, so we start with a 1 1/4 and then we eventually size it up to a 1 1/2. That way it's compatible with that flex hose, which is so very hard to get. So we've gotten really a comfort zone in the fact that we use a 1 7/8 for a 1.5 pipe nipple. This is 1 1/2, this is 1 1/4, this is 1 1/4. It's machined down on a machine press, and that's how we design our headers. Solid header, all stainless. If you need one of these, we can have one built for you. Typically, most of the engines below 32.5 or 37 are 1 inch. So we go from a 1 inch on the smaller block engine, and then we stage up into a 1 1/2 so it can fully accept the flex hose at 1 7/8. So the first thing again is you establish your mounting base to get as close to your header as possible. Then coming right over here, let's talk about the plumbing. The plumbing is, well, the inlet comes in on this side. We have a standard J.E. Adams 3000 PSI relief valve that we use. We don't necessarily have to use that. In fact, we use a tweaker instead that can also relieve the pressure. So we have the cold inside. It can be either interchangeable. It doesn't matter, hot or cold on either side. In this case, it's on the right side as cold water comes in right off of this Blue Neptune 3/8. Comes in through a ball seat 90 and then through a 3/8 and right into the heater, into the coil system. As it comes out hot, and then it comes down into a sensor switch, which is used for your high limit shutdown. This is tied to your white wire on your Kohler engine, and that will collapse the field and arrest the spark and shut down your engine. So further from that point, we have a sender, and that sender goes directly to an analog gauge. And then from down there, we use a JIC, Military Navy Standard JIC 3/8, which is a 606E series for a number 7 stainless braided flex hose, and that goes right into this inlet. And then we got a 1/2 inch T. These are 1/2 inch T's, which allow a standard adapter to our thermostat. So our thermostat probe goes all the way in. This wire goes down underneath and eventually connects to this thermostat that's in the front. So what happens is as you open this up, the water will come out and it'll go right over this. It'll be like downstreamed to get the full effect of the heat signal, whether it be hot or cold. And then from there, it goes down into your water box. And your water box, it'll just flow into your water box. And I recommend you always have this cracked open a little bit, okay? So this line here, this is our high out manifold where we have our connections in the front for our female socket. Goes to your wand or whatever pressure tool you're using. And this is our last step injection here. So this is basically for the idea, giving you an idea of how this heat system works. So what happens is that when you got this open, it'll start going across and feeding across. So each time you get a new heat signal, whether it be cold or hot, and it just keeps it well regulated. So you don't have explosive temperatures, or you don't get stagnation of heat that sits in the front of your heater. You want always have movement. So that's how that's set up. We even put a check valve here to eliminate any backflow, especially since you've got your chemical coming in here. You don't want a backflow, so you've got this going in a posi unidirection. As you see, these are 2 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch hex nipple to make the connection. You got a going down to 3/8, you have to bush it down a little bit. This again goes to your water box, and this is what goes to the back of the machine via waste tank. So it will sit right at the waste tank through a ball valve. I would suggest that when you're using these Demas solenoids that you put a ball valve on there. That way that if you've got a problem with that needle valve and it's not setting right, then you're going to lose your working pressure. Because once it opens up, when 12 volt comes off of it, due to the colder heat signal going across this thermostat, which tells this, or thermostat probe, which tells this thermostat to shut down your 12 volts. So with that, you want to have an emergency bypass. That way, it'll shut down the flow and you'll be able to get your working pressure back up. You want a minimal propagation delay between the time that thermostat sends a 12 volt signal to this solenoid to when it shuts down, because you want to have working pressure with minimal downtime, because you know you'll be losing your pressure while it empties into the tank to try to lower your water temperature. So this is giving you a better idea as to how we do it and how we achieve good regulation. And in this case, you really wouldn't need this. You mainly need the tweaker valve. So as it comes down through the 90 and it goes down, this comes off your unloader. So this is your cold water inlets, comes right off your unloader, which is originally coming from your water pump. So it's a pretty easy hookup. Again, there are certain space constraints that you have to take in consideration with the unit you're working. Oftentimes these can be put vertical flow. I recommend more horizontal flow, the way that we have it set up. But other than that, this is what we got going here. I just wanted to give you this video to help clarify how this whole regulatory temperature system works. And so to bring full success into your install using these famous world-renowned heat exchangers we sell all over the world. And we also have the ProChem aftermarkets that we've been referred to. John Don is our customer for some of the people who might have a 405 or Bruins or Legend. We sell these heat exchangers, but they have the feet that are coming from an OEM template. So everything is designed in reference to the OEM template. In this case, this is a universal style. This is the one we use on our Blue Barons. Again, we can make it D style with any size fitting that you want. And then, of course, in this case, it's an H style because we wanted to get some distance away. So if you wanted it H style, we can make it. We can make it top load in case it's like turning this the other way. So in case that you have a bottom feed instead of a side feed, especially if it's the heat exchanger is mounted toward the bottom of the framework. So if you have any other questions, call me at 727-505-2989. This is Peter in Holiday, Florida at Blue Baron Factory. Look us up online at 24/7 at truckmountstore.com or call us today at 727-505-2989. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.